So John Archer's pick for 2022 is the Philips 65-inch OLED 937. Now, John can't join us today, but Steve Withers and Sound Advice's editor Bruce Black are here, and they're also both firm advocates of this amazing television. We have done a review of it before, and the full review is on the website. But what makes this John's pick for, out of a whole year of reviewing TVs? His original review was absolutely glowing, but what makes it a firm favourite with all three of you?
When I spoke to John, when we were coming up with lists of what people wanted, I said to him, you've reviewed so many TVs this year, John, what are you going to pick? And it was immediate. It was immediately the OLED 397. And he had said then it delivers one of the sharpest, most dynamic and most vibrant pictures the OLED world has ever seen, plus an awful lot more. And I think it's the plus an awful lot more, although the quality of this picture quality of this is absolutely stunning. It also has a sound system that is the result of a partnership between Bowers and Wilkins, which we were talking about earlier on the headphones. And the really, really smart thing is that they've used the stand to sit the television on as a multi-channel Dolby Atmos speaker. And it works, and it works extremely well.
It is hands down one of the best sounding TVs you'll ever hear. That Bowers and Wilkins sound system is absolutely superb, and takes TV sound to another level. I mean, obviously, most people would say, well, I could just buy a soundbar or add some other kind of outboard sound solution. But if you don't want to do that, if you want a TV that sounds good straight out of the box, this is your TV.
Exactly.
Interestingly, OLED, obviously most OLED panels, apart from the QD-OLEDs that Samsung and Sony are using, are made by LG Display. So they're all provided by the same manufacturer. But obviously, what differentiates one from another is the special sauce, the processing behind the scenes that each manufacturer does. And when it comes to Philips, their P5 processor is exceptional, and the level of the quality they can deliver in terms of their upscaling, image processing, and HDR tone mapping is quite impressive. And that's one of the things that sets them apart, and probably one of the reasons why John liked this TV so much. So I can understand his pleasure when he was reviewing this TV.
Yeah. Now, John has opted for the 65-inch. I believe it also comes as a 77-inch. Obviously, there is a premium for going to the larger size. It's quite a lot more. Given the choice, Bruce, which size would you go for? Would you say it's worth the extra for the 77 if you have the right kind of room to take that size of TV, or would you go for the 65 as well?
The issue that we had with the 397 when John originally reviewed it wasn't anything to do with the performance of the TV or the eye-catching design. It was the fact you couldn't buy it. Philips' distribution company in the UK hadn't done a great job, but that has been sorted out now. It's got much, much wider distribution for the 65-inch. 77-inch is going to be much, much more limited. And we would always say on a telly like this, you should go and have a look at it. You shouldn't go just order it online and have it delivered, and then it's the type of thing that you really need to go into a shop and have a look.
My advice would be, regardless of which brand you choose, always go for the biggest TV you can get away with, because there's nothing worse than putting up your new TV and thinking, oh, I should have got a bigger screen. Yes, obviously, since I love projectors, big's great. The bigger the better. But if you can get a 77-inch OLED into your lounge, go for it.
Excellent.
Well, I've got there's a sitting just over there, which you can't see, is a 65-inch Philips, not this particular one, but I couldn't fit in a 77 in there. So
there you go.
Yeah, there you are.
Of
65
course,
to me is more practical, I must say.
Being a Philips owner, the other great advantage, and this is unique to Philips, is Ambilight, which many people swear by. As a purist, as a video purist, I'm not really keen on having a disco behind my TV, but there is a feature where it can create a neutral white bias light behind the television that actually I do recommend, because that's actually a better and more comfortable viewing experience when you're watching TV at night. So that's another feature that sets the Philips apart. The 937 and all of their TVs, in fact, have that feature. So it's worth considering that as well.
Steve's absolutely right. You can dial it up to volume 11, and it
Studio
creates
54 setting.
It creates a ridiculous amount of light coming out. However, if you turn it all down and have a much more subtle thing, it is very relaxing to watch, to have. And the colours that you're watching on the screen are extremely accurately sort of projected out across your walls as well.
It's a great feature for gaming, actually. It makes the games more immersive.
I wouldn't know about that.
I will say, actually, since we're mentioning gaming, this is something John points out in his review. Of the 4 HDMI inputs on the TV, only 2 support HDMI 2.1 with 4K 120. And he did say that there appeared to be a slight problem with the horizontal resolution on the 4K 120. So that's a bit of a minor cross in its copybook, but otherwise, yes, exceptional performance.